Hello, my name is XONEVANT. Today is Wednesday, January the 14th, and we're going to be talking about review scores. You guys know that I'm completely against review scores, but it seems like the big boys out there are taking note. Let's get right into it on today's Daily Dose. Alright, so for the longest time, I have, been a part of this gaming culture, part of this gaming industry since I was a kid. And I remember reading old, EGM magazines and Game Pro magazines. And if you've been around for a while, you know these magazines. And they all had some kind of rating system or scoring system. And I never really got into it. I kind of wanted to read the articles and see the pictures. Like, that's what I wanted to do, right? And I remember sneaking into grocery stores and stuff and trying to skim through the articles real fast and see all the cool pictures and read everything. But I really wasn't too concerned about the scores. And that's because video games are, in my opinion, art. They are, they're the player's interpretation of an experience that the developers are hoping that they have. And I can't explain it any other way. The developers sit down and they make a game that they hope touches everybody on a very unique level, right? And they don't necessarily want each player to feel the same thing, across the board, right? There's obviously a baseline of emotion that they want to get across, but they don't expect every gamer to cry in certain moments of games or, every gamer to get excited at certain moments of games. It's just not the way that it works, right? It's not supposed to work that way. And that's why rating games on a scale of 1 to 10 or, 0 to 5 stars or whatever crazy mathematical method you have, in my opinion, it's just, it's worthless. It does not do anything to the art form that I admire about a video game. And that's because everybody's experience is going to be different. Everybody's experience is going to be different. Right now, you're watching this video, you're listening to this video. There are some of you right now who would say that The Last of Us, made by Naughty Dog, is the best game ever made. Some of you would say that, and you would be justified to say that. And then some of you might say, The Last of Us was a horrible game. I couldn't stand it. You would be justified in saying that too. And the reason why is because it's your interpretation of an experience. It's okay for you to not like a game. It's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? And I think what happens a lot of times with these review scores is, we go straight to the score and then we expect that score to be our experience before we've even played the game. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm proud that Joystiq has, you guys know they're a media outlet. They have decided to drop their rating scale. And I think that's awesome. Right now, a lot of you may not be following Rev3 Games, but back in the day, they actually did this, and Joystiq is doing something very similar. Rev3 Games, they actually did more of a sentence at the end of their reviews. Now, they used to do 0 to 5 stars, right? When Adam Sessler was there, when he left, they got rid of that, and they basically went to a sentence that summed up the gaming experience for them. Joystiq is doing something similar. They're calling it, in other words, is going to be the end of at the end of all their little, written reviews. And it's going to be just a summation of some of the highlights of the game. It doesn't have downloadable content, does it have DLC coming, etc., etc. And just a little paragraph that sums up their review, right? And I think we need that, man. We need more discussion about games and not just numbers, right? And Metacritic should just die. I can't stand that site. I don't know why anybody would want to go to that site to get quick info about their games. I just can't stand it. And Joystiq, if you read their article, they actually talked about it, that they actually went to a review-based system based on a number system, or a scale, if you will, because they thought it would bring them legitimacy when it came to Metacritic, because that's where everybody seems to go. Stay off of that site. Look, games are a gamble. We've talked about this before, right? Games are a gamble. Some people go to Las Vegas and win money. Some people go to Las Vegas and lose money. right? It's the way it works. It's a gamble. It's the same way when you're dealing with the video game, right? When you pass that $60 across the register, you're gambling, especially if you're buying that game on day one. The earlier you buy a video game, the more of a gamble that it is, but it's still your gamble. You're completely in control of it. And if you're concerned about losing money or the game not being good or whatever, then just wait. Just wait, right? Buy the game when it's $10 a year from then, or 20 years for $20, right? A lot of times these games will get price drops pretty quick. So just wait. Make your gamble less, but don't let some review score or what somebody else says about a game sway what you're gonna experience in that game, because you haven't played it yet. You haven't played it yet. This is, video games are not like movies. If we all sat in the theater tomorrow and we watched a movie, it's the same experience for everybody. We're all going to see the same opening credits. We're all going to see, that same action sequence. We're all going to, because you can't change it. You're stuck watching it. And that's the difference with a video game, is that if you and I sit down beside each other tomorrow and we play a game, I'm going to go left and you're going to go right. You're going to see something that I don't see. And that's what makes games so awesome. And review scores, they just taint the whole thing. That's why I stay away from reviews. At most, I'll watch a review after I've played a game and completed a game, just to hear if what I think about the game lines up with the game, right? To see if the general public thinks the same way I do about a game. And if they don't, and they're discussing it, I want to know what they're talking about, and so I have to play the game first. You see what I mean? So I never go to review sites, whether they're doing, a summation type review like seems to be the trend now, or whether they're doing some kind of number system before I've played the game. I'd rather gamble and be smart about the gamble, right? That's how I look at my gaming habit, right? I'm going to be smart. There's going to be some games that earn my $60 on day one, and there's going to be some that don't. And that's up to me. But I'm not going to let some review score dictate that experience before I've even played it. So I'm happy Joystiq has done this. Does this mean that all the other media outlets are going to follow suit? Probably not for a while. It would surprise me if they do, because Rev3 done it about a year ago, and now Joystiq is doing it. And to my knowledge, that's the only two, unless you guys know of any more. But I hope they do. I really do. I hope that the gaming industry gets away from silly review scores. I just don't. It'd be one thing if all the review sites use the same scale, but they don't. So when you go to one site and they give it an 8 out of 10, you go to another site, they give it 2 out of 5. You really don't even know what's actually there, if that makes any sense. So I'm happy that they've done away with. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments below, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a good move, and I hope the other media outlets follow suit.